Jets lose again. Final score 30-9 in MetLife Stadium, falling to 3-10 on the football season in one of the most sloppiest, mistake-filled games that I've seen so far this season. I mean, where do we even start? Let's just start right at the top with the stats. The Saints beat us in total yards, total plays, passing, rushing, first downs, penalties, time of possession. I feel like that list goes on and on forever. I mean, we were beat down from start to finish. We were absolutely bludgeoned today. What happened to the offense? I felt like we were finally making strides. Zach Wilson, consecutive starts here, looked pretty good in the second half of that Texans game, did what he needed to do to get that victory. To start off the game against the Eagles, he was efficient, he was completing passes, and then what happens against the Saints today? 3 straight 3-and-outs. In fact, we went 3-and-out 4 out of the first 5 drives of the game. And I mean, we talked about that in the preview video. The number one thing that we want to see from this offense was sustaining offensive drives, controlling the clock, feeding the running backs up the middle, getting Zach Wilson comfortable with some nice easy passes, some swing passes to the outside, and we're going 3-and-out, which is literally the exact opposite of sustaining drives and controlling the clock, okay? Just a sloppy mess on the offensive side of the football. We have multiple drops from Ty Johnson. Now, of course, you could argue on some of those throws, they were behind, they were a little late, but some of those are bouncing right off of Ty Johnson's hands. You gotta come down with that. You gotta help out the young quarterback. And then as far as Zach Wilson is concerned, I mean, he, frankly, to me, was awful today. He was missing throws, putting way too much on it, overshooting guys, underthrowing guys in the short passing game. I mean, he had a short pass to the top of the screen. I believe the intended target was Braxton Berrios. The pass did not even reach Berrios' feet. It skipped on the ground. It was one of the worst plays that I've seen from a quarterback, one of the worst throws all season, and I'm taking into consideration all 32 teams here. It's just inexcusable. It must be so frustrating for Mike LaFleur to watch this offense, not really having much confidence in the short passing game. Is Zach going to overshoot a guy? Is he going to skip the pass on the ground? Is the intended target going to drop the football? Now, in defense of Zach Wilson here, no Corey Davis, no Elijah Moore, no Tevin Coleman, no Michael Carter. So essentially, no RB1, RB2, wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2. We have to take that into consideration. We have to factor that into the mix here. But with that said, Zach Wilson completed 19 passes out of 42 attempts for 202 passing yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions, which is a plus. But look, 19 of 42 is not good at all, not in the least. And you can make an argument, a solid chunk of those passing yards came in the last drive of the game when the Jets were out of it, when the Jets were already down 30-9. So just a poor offensive performance today. In fact, Taysom Hill actually outplayed Zach Wilson, and Taysom Hill is not the starting quarterback in New Orleans. He is, arguably the backup, because we did see Trevor Siemian earlier in the season when he was not getting the job done. Ex-Jet Trevor Siemian. But look, Taysom Hill outplayed Zach Wilson today through the air and on the ground, and Taysom Hill had a banged up finger. So, and by the way, there were mistakes on the Saints side of the football too. I want to give credit to Sean Payton, give credit to Alvin Kamara. The play calling I thought was really good on the Saints side of the football. They just kept continuing to pound the rock, and they were having success. And of course, they did have a couple of missed plays, some missed opportunities. Taysom missed a couple of easy throws. Essentially, they couldn't take shots down the field because of that finger. And he also had that brutal sack in the early parts of the game. But look, Taysom was efficient. Overall, Taysom did a pretty good job today. He held down the fort. 15 of 21, 175 passing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, over 70 yards on the ground. Now, granted, one of those, a big portion of those rushing yards came in that last, huge run that which went over 60 plus. So overall, the rushing yards are a little bit misleading, but Taysom did his thing out there. He didn't turn the ball over. I mean, we really have to look at this Jets coaching staff. Like, what was going to be the game plan going in from the Saints offensively? Run the rock. Kamara's coming back. They're going to run the ball. That's where Taysom excels. They're not going to be taking deep shots down the football field. Taysom has the banged up finger, and what happens? The Saints offense rolls. They roll on the ground. Alvin Kamara over 100 rushing yards. I mean, there's a reason why this Jets defense is literally the worst in the league in so many different metrics, so many different areas. We're 32 out of 32. And speaking of the coaching staff, I do have a couple of questions surrounding today's game. The first being the whole clock management situation at the end of the first half, where yes, we did walk away with 3 points. Yes, we did cut the score a little bit, 10-6 going into halftime with the Saints getting the ball in the second half. But we went into halftime with that extra timeout in our back pocket. We could have utilized that timeout earlier within the drive. If we would have done that, maybe we would have had some extra time on the clock to punch it into the end zone. I felt like at the end of the day, that's why the Jets lost, because we kept settling for field goals and we didn't score a single touchdown all day. So not the biggest deal in the world, but just something that I want to get cleared up, why we decided to use our timeouts so late into that drive. I feel like everything was so panicked and rushed in that drive. And yes, of course, you have to have a sense of urgency, but not to that level. We're only going into halftime. It's not to end the game. So to enter halftime down, settling for 3 points, and we kept a timeout on the board, it's a little puzzling for me. Number two, Quinnen Williams got hurt, and Quinnen Williams has been awesome this year. He hasn't been, the best defensive. I don't want to put him on the same level as an Aaron Donald or anything like that, but he has been really, really good. And depending on who you like more, CJ Mosley or Quinnen, that's our best player on the team. Okay, and he got hurt, but he was in the game late. I really didn't feel like Quinnen Williams needed to be out there so late in the game when it was essentially over, because if Williams would have hurt that shoulder even more, landed on it a wrong way, if an offensive lineman maybe took a cheap shot at it, whatever the case may be, if he got hurt even more from being in the game, that would have been a disaster, a complete disaster. I mean, Quinnen could very well be a Pro Bowler this season. And then the third and final, I guess, gripe about this game, not so much a question, I guess it is a question, but why does it feel like this Jets team is disrespected almost every single week? I mean, we are bullied. We are bullied by other teams. This is the second straight game where the opposing team did not shake hands with the New York Jets to start out. The Eagles did it last week, and CJ Mosley addressed it, and the Saints come out, they do the same exact thing. It's just a sign of disrespect. Okay, and yes, of course, we can blame New Orleans and blame, Philadelphia for not doing that, but they're doing it for a reason. And we take a look back at when the Jets played the Patriots, when the Pats were taking cheap shot after cheap shot, late hit after late hit on Zach Wilson, and the Jets did nothing about it. We didn't respond at all. The Bills did the same thing, taking shots left and right after the whistle, just late hits, and the Jets are just laying down, not doing anything about it. So I'm sick and tired of this Jets team getting bullied. I want to see us have some fight. Even in the Taysom Hill touchdown in the end of the game, I mean, how do you allow that? Ashton Davis took a bad route to the ball to Taysom, but man, to give up a 66-yard rush when the game is already over, it's brutal. It is not a good look at all. So let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. It gets me irritated even thinking about it. I want the Jets to rise to the occasion, step up and fight back. And yes, of course, we can make the argument, a ton of guys are injured. That's true. That's valid. Definitely a solid point. Yes, the team is super young. Yes, this is Robert Saleh's first rodeo. And yes, we don't have that much talent on defense, but you know what? Towards the tail end of the Rex Ryan era, we didn't have talent on defense, and his defenses produced. Todd Bowles didn't have elite talent on his defense, and it produced. Greg Williams' defense, even though it wasn't the best in the league, it wasn't a complete joke. It wasn't the worst in the league. Okay, so we have countless cases here countless cases on the New York Jets defense where we might not have the best overall rosters, might have a lot of holes all over the place, dealing with injuries and whatnot, but at least we can go out there and look like a respectable unit and not just get humiliated, blown off the field. So I want to see us take some steps in the right direction, stack some things, right? Progress from week to week, not one step forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. It's just this weird situation that the Jets have on their hands, and it's frankly confusing, and I completely understand there's going to be bumps along the way. There's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be a big roller coaster. We all kind of expected that, having a rookie head coach, a young overall staff, a rookie quarterback, but to see how erratic it is a little... It's a bit concerning. So hopefully Zach Wilson can bounce back next week and just settle down. I will say this, I felt like the mental part of the game, Zach Wilson, for the most part, looked like he knew where to go with the football. The reads were correct. He just wasn't accurate. Overshooting guys, throwing the ball way too hard in some cases, again, skipping passes. It was from a mechanical and an accuracy standpoint, it was just a mess. But from a mental aspect, it did look like he knew where to go with the football. It did look like he understood what the defense was trying to do to him. So that's a positive. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as always, go Jets.